It's 9 o'clock. How am I late? What's going on? Don't start with the late stuff yet. At least give me till 9:01 until you start with the late stuff. Please. Please, please, please. How's everybody doing this evening? PB is in the house. Chell's step bully was number 4. Nas is here. Joni's here. In the streets is here. Lena's here. Cubits. Thank you, everybody. Really appreciate it. When Christopher Patel gets here, we will get into Alphabet and ServiceNow. Q2 earnings preview. We'll probably talk a little AI. Oh, that was funny. Amit Standard Time 9:01. I like it. Good stuff. Good stuff. Amit Standard Time. I like it. So how's everybody doing this evening? Hopefully everybody's doing well. Hopefully you have your milk, maybe some chocolate chip cookies. That's what I heard. I heard they're delicious. I mean, the steak was pretty big. Pretty big. That was hilarious. Somebody said that he took my picture and had his barber give him my haircut. Pretty hilarious, to be honest. I am super excited for Avengers Doomsday. Super excited. I think it's going to be great. I will actually go to the movie theater for it. It's going to be good. I'm excited that the X-Men, the Avengers, and the Fantastic Four will be together. I'm actually looking, I would like some new X-Men movies. X-Men movies are underrated, and I'll tell you, even though it wasn't made by Marvel and it was made by Fox, the first X-Men movie is amazing. Some of the other ones, Days of Futures Past is really good. I did not see The Odyssey yet. I did not see it, but you know what? You should ask Amit about it tomorrow because he actually watched it. Go figure. Amit saw something that I didn't. Zuck is swinging the Excalibur this earnings season. We are getting after it. Zuck is coming for everybody. I'm telling you, he's coming for everyone. Hopefully McDermott gets after it and we have an anti-Sass narrative go bye-bye. Have I ever been to Wolfgang's on Park Avenue? Yes, I have. Amit and I went there a couple weeks ago. It's on what? 35th and Park or something like that? I don't remember exactly where. But yes, I have been to that Wolfgang. It's pretty good. I have not seen Odyssey yet. It is a this week or next week thing. I have not seen it. Been pretty busy. Odyssey is a movie. Matt Damon's in it. I forget who else is in it. A bunch of people are in it. I got some homework to do. Oh, in the streets, coming in hot. Zuckerberg telling his doctor, wife to get the beds ready. He's coming for the Neo Clouds. I mean, listen, I think there's enough revenue out there for all of them. They can all eat. They can all eat. No, I did not hear that. Interesting. Listen, we need the Clarity Act. We need it done. You know what, Matt? On days that end in Y. On days that end in Y, my friend. What is looks pretty after dark? I don't know what this is, Hollis. I do not know what this is. Are we seriously? Are we really going to get the Clarity Act? Spirit Feather, do you really believe that? Or I don't know if it's going to be this week. I have no idea. It beat out Avengers Endgame. Interesting. Interesting. Has anybody looked at Polymarket? What are the what's the odds on actually getting the votes for this to pass? JT, appreciate it. No, I mean, listen, the stuff about New York State and the stuff about the Trump accounts, I feel very strongly about. I wish you didn't name them Trump accounts, and I wish New York would change its ways with certain things. I need BTC to pump because that means Ethereum should go up. I'm not holding my breath. I think Blankman's gonna lose the Hochul. Not gonna hold my breath. 37% on Clarity. Okay. I saw that Archer and Andrew are partnering. I didn't look too deeply into it. So, am I in Rocket Lab? Technically, I am. Even though I've never purchased a share, technically, I am. And it's all because of the step bully, who's probably laughing right now. Ethereum 1917, let's get after it. Let's get after it. Oh, there we are. Oh and shit. Two famous words. Oh and shit. I guess Kris will be here in a moment, ladies and gentlemen. I guess Kris will be here in a few minutes. Gecko bag the elephant. Let's go. What a great movie. Wall Street is such a good movie. You know what movie I may watch? I'm thinking about rewatching Point Break. I'm like, it's been a while since I actually sat through Point Break. I am really thinking about watching it again. Thank you on Basis Points. Really appreciate it. Really appreciate it. Listen, I'll take the Trump accounts too over how Mondami's running New York City, but I really wish it wasn't called Trump accounts because his name is so polarizing. Unfortunately, people are not going to invest in them on principle. And I think it's a disservice to kids. Johnny Utah, give me two. Get me two. Am I covering the overnight shift? I'm not sure what you mean. I appreciate that. I like to think I have good taste in movies. You know what I watched part of the other day? Maybe like 20 minutes. For some reason, I never changed it. When I turn on my TV, it automatically goes to the Samsung channels. And Tombstone was on. And I watched about 20 minutes of it. I'll take this to the grave. Tombstone is the best Western movie ever made. I don't care what anybody says. It's the best Western movie ever made. It's incredible.
My bad, Steven.
That's fine.
I was me and my wife, we were talking about like my brother-in-law. He's starting to get, he's doing really well on stand-up comedy. And the thing is, like, he needs a camera to like record all this stuff. And my wife's like, can we just like order a camera on Amazon? Oh, sorry, wrong mic. Man, my hair needs to get fixed.
Dude, just bick it, shave it off.
No, man, I can't do that.
Did you have a shaved head when you were in the military?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I need to see a picture of that.
It's not really shaved. It's something called a high and tight.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so it's like really short on the side. You keep a little bit on the top. So, give me 1 second. Mic. There we go. That should be a lot better.
Oh, that's a lot better.
Yeah. Yeah, it was actually my brother-in-law is doing like stand-up comedy and he's starting to do really well, and he needs a camera. And my wife's like, oh, maybe can we just like get a camera for him like on Amazon? And she's looking at those like Chinese camcorders. I'm like, no. You don't want to get that. That stuff just is not good. Like, yeah. So you gotta get like a decent camera. Like which camera do you have?
I think I have I moved the box. Oh, you know what? Let me I'll tell you. Hold on. I'll go into Amazon. Let me go on my orders. It's one of the Canons. Hold on.
I have like a Sony. Let me see 1 second.
I have the EOS R50. I'll share my screen.
That's cool. I like it. That's nice.
So there was a bunch of them, and I mean, I've never had a problem with it.
I was a little bit like when I first started doing more YouTube stuff, I was like cheap, right? So I was like, I don't know if this is gonna work out. So I got like a Sony something. It was like a professional mirrorless camera, but I got it on OfferUp, like a used camera with like a really high shutter count. And I got a software update on it that like there's someone had jailbroke it and basically took the HDMI, like it's called a clean HDMI. Otherwise, what happens is when it streams, you would see like all the little things on there. So whoever that person was, thank you. And I was able to get that removed. And so I have clean HDMI and a nice mirrorless camera. And I think it cost me like $300. Whereas the thing that you have, which is really good, it's like good $800. So I don't know, like for my brother-in-law, I'm probably going to get him something a little bit more professional. But I have to like figure out like what would be good, because when you're recording in like a comedy setting, you kind of need the lighting to be a lot better. You know, like
is he recording at a comedy club or at his home?
Well, he's going to be doing like, he's been doing a lot more like, you know, like he like puts on events for like fellow comics and stuff.
Gotcha.
Right. So it's kind of all over the place. Like the other day we went to a bar and we did, you know, he did his set, but then he had like 5 of his friends do his comedy routine there at the same time. And so the bar didn't really have that great of lighting. And the acoustics were really bad. So I'm like, how do I best get it set up where it's very low maintenance on his part? and I was going back and forth with the wife, and she's like, "Oh my God, this costs so much." And I'm like, "Listen, if you want professional gear, like it's just expensive."
Yeah, I think the big thing's going to be, depending on how far away it is, the sound. So he's probably going to have to get one of those remote mics to wear here.
Yeah,
So
that too. So no, it's just it's definitely a what is it called? A production. You know, like you don't understand how much goes into like a good production until like you really like do the research,
tell
right?
me about it.
Yeah,
Tell me about it.
yeah.
I mean, I
So
went out and got the freaking big Sherm mic and everything after using the
yeah,
Yeti for a while. So
yeah. Same thing. I have the same exact camera. You know, I got the it's on a what is it called, a
yeah,
arm.
I have a
So,
Rode boom arm with a.
yeah.
All right. So big week. Alphabet, ServiceNow, Tesla. I only care about two things with Tesla. I don't even know if we're gonna have time. Alphabet and ServiceNow. Which one do you want to start with?
Someone said lighting. Absolutely. If you have good lighting, you'll do really well.
Yeah, lighting and
Um,
especially in
yeah,
clubs.
yeah. I'd say we should get started with first Google, like the
Okay.
conversation, and then we can go on to the other ones. You know, I'm saying, Kris, if you don't want everyone to hate you, quit having stupid opinions on the best companies in the whole fucking world. I don't know what that means.
Joni, you're gonna have to elaborate.
Yeah. Like which companies specifically? I'd love to just hear that.
Oh, I think you know what? I think she said Nvidia before, if I'm not mistaken.
Is it Nvidia?
I think so. It's not, guys. It's the paint on my walls is actually. It's like I think we painted this room Yosemite sand, so it's not yellow lighting for like a beach vibe.
She's trying to rage bait you. I mean, I don't want to call it rage bait. You know, I mean, you can like a company and you can like everything that they do and how they're operating, but you can also understand that their business model sometimes is, you know, more cyclical. And I think that's the thing. Like everyone keeps telling me like Nvidia's business model is no longer cyclical, and I beg to we're just going to have to disagree on that point. They're a really good company with a really good product, but you know, it's one of those things. We just have to disagree on it. No big deal.
So let's get into Alphabet. So I got a whole bunch of stuff ready. Before we do, I want to see if you saw this.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see what the Databricks CEO said?
About like he's got demand off the charts internationally.
Yes. So I'm going to bring up the actual quote, as this will set the stage for Alphabet. So we host open, and this is from yesterday. We host open source models such as Kimi and offer them to our customers. Demand has been so strong that we are running out of GPUs across multiple regions. We nearly exhausted our GPU capacity in Asia, and demand is rising in countries including Japan, South Korea, United States, and India. We therefore need to acquire a large number of additional GPUs, which requires significant funding. That demand was what triggered our latest funding round. We were inundated with customer requests and need more GPU capacity. GPUs are extremely expensive to acquire. And then you get the news today about Alphabet with the frozen TPU that they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that we are going to see some very exciting stuff. Now, Q1 for Alphabet, $109.9 billion. I mean, this is Alphabet's one of the best companies in the world. Like, let's call it spade a spade. Alphabet's one of the best companies in the world. 22% year-over-year growth is extremely hard to do when you're doing $109 billion in 3 months of revenue. And it came in above the consensus, 11th consecutive quarter, double-digit growth. And the growth accelerated from 12% prior year. Operating income was up 30%. And as you indicated when we talked about it, the net income was juiced because of some income gains. It was about 30 something billion or so. Google services was up 16%. Search and others was up 19%. The ad business is doing very well. Google Cloud was the big one, 63% growth quarter over quarter. I'm sorry, year over year. And huge acceleration. And Q4 was up 48% year over year. Cloud operating income tripled from 2.8 to 6.6 billion. And their RPO gained 99% quarter over quarter. I mean, it's an incredible company. Cloud backlog, $462 billion. So the preview for what the consensus is for Q2, 116.8 billion in revenue, 21% year over year growth. The analyst range, 113 to 120. The street is looking for 35.3 billion in net income. Google Cloud. This is where I think there's going to be some back and forth. The market expects growth of 60 to 63% again. They're keeping the 6 handle, and they are looking for full year 2026 EPS, $14.32. That's up 32.5% year over year. Pretty crazy with the estimates.
I mean, Google's always been a profitable company. I mean, there's no doubt in anyone's mind. But the one thing you got to love about Google is that they recognized very early on that they were not about to pay the NVIDIA tax forever. You know, like, you have to try to retain as much margin as you can, because otherwise, if you're paying all this margin to everyone else, then what's left for you, right? So by being the most vertically integrated, they own their own chips, they own their own, you know, like libraries, they own everything. They can basically sell, even at a discount, all that stuff and still make a really, really healthy profit. The other thing is they benefit from having that search revenue, the subscription revenue from YouTube and everything else be like a nice growth compounder for themselves. So if there's a company that I felt like, when we talked about this for like 2 years, said the fact that Google is trading at such a discount was just like, it was like a gift.
Yeah.
You know, but then again, they also had a lot of issues with antitrust. You know, that was the other challenge that you run into. So the multiples were compressed because of that. The minute that that was gone, it was like, you know.
Here's where I'm at on Google. The Frozen V2 chip is not supposed to come out until 2028.
Yeah.
That's what all the outlets are saying. And they're already on what I'm not exactly sure. Somebody can correct me. I think they're on the 7th generation or 8th generation TPU already with Broadcom. And they're still a very large customer of NVIDIA. I think that this Frozen V2, and while they're saying that it could be 6 to 10 times more efficient than the latest TPU that they have, I have a feeling that they're still going to remain a very large NVIDIA customer, even with all the advances in their TPUs. Now, I'm going to have to wait 2 years to see if I'm correct, because I can't prove or disprove anything. And we know that they've been using TPUs for a long time. How much more do they augment their data services with TPUs is yet to be seen. I think they're going to continue to do it, but as they continue to build out, I think there's a world where they mix and match quite a bit, and NVIDIA doesn't necessarily get that impacted at all.
Yeah, I mean, we're just gonna have to see, right? Like, there's a bunch of things that we have to take into consideration, no matter how much we want to kind of ignore it. Like right now, did you see that NVIDIA and Oracle's credit spreads have been widening? Like Oracle's,
Oracle's. I'm sorry, not Oracle. Alphabet's 100-year bonds are trading at a 7% discount. How crazy is that?
Well, I mean, yeah, same thing with like Same thing with dude. Did you see the Oracle bonds?
I
They're
saw the
crashing
headline. I
right
didn't
now.
look into it, but I
Yeah,
saw
I
that.
mean,
Yeah.
it's crazy to see where. Let me just bring this up.
Yeah, it hit
I've been.
cycle high for the credit default swaps, but you know why that is, right? New Mexico denied a gas pipeline permit for their data center.
Nah, that's not the only reason. They've been going down since. Like it's, this is like today. But if you look at like literally over the last, what is it, last year, their bonds are trading damn near close to par, even on a 6% yield. Now it's trading at 78 cents, which means that your yield to maturity is almost 7.8. At some point, this thing is, you know, this is gonna shock you, but do you know what a high yield credit is right now? Like a just general high yield credit?
Isn't it 8%?
No, it's actually like 6.7%. So
Okay.
this is investment grade that's trading like junk. I mean,
Yes.
they're about
So
to be
wait,
downgraded to junk in a little
what's
bit. But
junk then? Junk's got to be at 8 then.
no, I'm telling you, that's the
Wow.
part that hold on, high yield.
Did you see what got released with Nvidia today with Nebius, that they own 9.2% now of Nebius?
I'm sorry, say that again.
Did you see that Nvidia now owns 9.2% of Nebius?
Yeah, I did see that. Bro, they are not going to get away from that circular financing accusation with that move. That's
I don't
for
think,
sure.
but it's not circular financing.
I mean, what do you call taking a massive stake in a company that buys your
Exactly,
product?
it's exactly what it is. Taking a massive stake in a company. They're not giving the GPUs away for free. I mean,
No,
look,
they're not. Yeah.
I get that people think it's circular financing, but the reality is Nvidia is writing a check and they are getting equity for that check that goes on the balance sheet. And then what Nebius decides to do with that equity, they could go buy M&Ms, they could go buy Coca-Cola, they go buy GPUs. It's their money to spend. And it looks like circular financing, but it's not.
Sounds a bit like conflict of interest to me, man. I wonder if eventually Nvidia is going to get a board seat on it too.
Just saying, Nvidia is getting equity for their capital. If Nebius decides to buy Nvidia chips versus AMD chips, so be it. It's not like they're not getting equity for the capital.
No, it's true, but once again, it's not illegal, but it's just not.
Yeah,
It's not what you
it
want to
looks
see.
a certain way. I'm not denying that it doesn't.
Yeah.
It certainly looks a certain way, but I don't know. Nvidia is building out a pretty big holding company now, which I have to like.
No, I like it too. I think that actually works. The only thing is, if you think about it, it does set you up for a lower yield. Like, what do you think the yield on Nebius's like total return is going to be over the next like 10 years?
I don't even know how to even start modeling that after what they announced today and just where this goes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really looking to see what Zuck says next week about selling compute. Like, this is every year or every quarter, I say this is the most important earnings. I feel like I say it every quarter, but this quarter is even more so because we are at a precipice of the AI narrative with so much people focusing on the CapEx and if it's going to slow down, if they're going to pull back. Come Wednesday afternoon, we're going to find out if Alphabet's pulling back or not. And I would bet a lot of money that does not come out on the earnings call, that they are not pulling back this year or next year. They can't. Look, you don't go raise $85 billion to buy back shares at this valuation.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what are you going to do with that money?
I mean,
they're buying chips. They're building out data centers.
It could be that they want to make sure that they have enough capital when, let's say, the market does dump to basically buy back shares and at the same time still keep their CapEx going, right? Is that a possibility in your brain?
It's a possibility. I don't think it's realistic though, because they have 127 billion in cash and short-term investments on the balance sheet without that. I mean, they're such a cash-rich company where they have 38 billion in cash and 88.78 in short-term investments. So 127 short-term cash and short-term investments. So
yeah,
I don't think that they would have raised that money unless they felt that it was better off just instead of using the cash from their balance sheet to fund the data centers than just borrow the money because the interest they're getting on the cash services the debt. It's a free loan to them.
yeah, maybe. But the high yield right now is like 7%. Look at that.
Crazy.
Oracle's bonds, which are investment grade, mind you, they're just one notch above investment grade. I mean, one notch above junk, but they're trading at almost a no, don't restart, not now. Almost at a junk level thing, but also their credit spreads are getting killed too. So Oracle. Yeah, right here.
They're jumping.
Yeah, so gotta sign in. Yeah, so the 5-year credit default swaps on Oracle. Look at this. 75 basis points. When was this from? July 15th.
Just the other day.
This is Torsten Sloke. Okay, let's see. Torsten. I love this guy. This guy, he was on damn it, where was this? His point. The Daily Spark. So much good information. I'll have to look at it. I can't find it right this second. But the point is, credit spreads are widening on what is it called? On geez, I'm like having a brain fart right now. So, question is, how are you positioning yourself next 12 months?
Same way I'm positioned today. I'm not making any changes.
Still ultra long, staying long the AI trade.
Yeah.
Not pivoting a little bit.
We haven't, I'm so serious about this. Mm-hmm. We haven't even left the house for happy hour yet. We are so in the infancy. I am just not seeing any data to support that we're not. And every single thing that I read, I did a lot of research. I don't know if you saw my tweet about McDonald's. No. And I started looking into how McDonald's is using AI. And I got to tell you, Kris, the more I look into what these boring companies are doing, the more it reconfirms just how early we are. Now, you saw what Jamie Dimon said, right? About how they implemented AI in Q2.
Yeah.
Okay. So now think about this. So McDonald's, and I think it was in April at the Worldwide Convention in Vegas, they unveiled Arch IQ, and that is their AI operating platform, which is built on their Google Cloud partnership. And it includes a voice assistant nicknamed Archie. So Archie has been taking drive-through orders in English and Spanish at 5 test locations. And there are reports that I found that indicated the system has processed over 1 million transactions. 90% of the orders were completed without human escalation. And Google Edge hardware is installed at the locations, which is a differentiator because AI inference happens locally at the location instead of on a cloud. Now, that enables the computer vision on order accuracy to cut down on remakes and refunds, gives you predictive maintenance on the fryers and grills. And here's the crazy part. It provides on-demand forecasting that matches labor hours and inventory to actual traffic patterns. And the staff at the locations also have a generative AI assistant for troubleshooting equipment instead of waiting on a service call. And the ArchIQ system ties all the signals together, flags bottlenecks to managers in real time. If this is what McDonald's is doing right now and they're starting to implement this
Mhm.
in a test phase, which eventually will be throughout all their locations, every other restaurant will eventually do something like this. And when you look at what JP Morgan is doing, eventually all the other banks are going to be doing stuff like what Jamie Dimon is doing. And I have
Mhm.
not gone through the Bank of America and the Wells transcripts yet, so I'm not actually sure if they are or they aren't right now. But we
Mhm.
are so in the infancy of how companies are going to utilize AI that I think the models are going to be commoditized the same way gasoline is. It doesn't matter if you go to Exxon, BP, Texaco, whatever. Doesn't matter. Chevron. If you go to a gas station and you have a very large highway and there's a gas station every 500 yards, they're all going to be within 10 cents of each other. It's really not a huge difference. And I think that you'll have baskets of tokens. The really, really good ones will have a little bit of a premium, and you'll use those for your more complex stuff. And the ones that are 95% as good, you'll use for run of the mill research, that type of stuff, kind of like unleaded 87 versus super 93. And I think it becomes a throughput thing where we're going to be able to get so much more usage from these companies that a race
Mhm.
to the bottom on token prices doesn't destroy the thesis on these companies making money on the models, because the throughput is going to explode with what companies actually use them for. I mean, we saw it with Uber. I mean, Uber is a perfect example of what happened. And they're actually spending more money.
What happened?
With Uber, I'll bring up all the data for you. One moment. So, Uber rolled out Claude Code to 5,000 engineers in December 2025. And I got all this information from Bloomberg and Fortune. These are all their numbers. Okay. And I have the articles that I can bring up. Adoption went from 32% of engineers in February to 84% by March. By the
Mhm.
spring, it was 95% of Uber engineers were using AI tools on a monthly basis, and 70% of committed code came from them. In April, Uber's CTO confirmed that they exhausted their entire 2026 AI budget in 4 months.
Mhm.
The average engineer cost was 150 to 250 a month in tokens, while power users were using between $500 to $2,000, and the CTO burned $1,200 in a single 2-hour demo. Now, there's a narrative out there that Uber cut their tokens, which isn't true. In late May, their COO, Andrew McDonald, said rising token consumption wasn't clearly translating into more customer features, and that Uber would have to start weighing token costs against headcount. On June 2nd, Bloomberg reported that an Uber spokesperson confirmed a cap of $1,500 a month per employee per AI coding tool. What people miss is that $1,500 per tool per month is not a cut. It sits way above the 150 to 250 average and covers most of the power user range. Spending on one tool doesn't count against another. It's governance, not austerity. And then you look at the R&D, Q1 2026 R&D was $951 million. It's up 17% year over year. 3.4 billion spent in 2025. So Uber's slowing hiring to offset the growing AI investments. I mean, they're funding tokens at the expense of headcount. I mean, it's all documented from Bloomberg and Fortune.
So, did you also see the part where they said that they were going to switch out to cheaper models?
And they very well may.
Right.
But
So
then
that means that they have a limited budget, right?
well, they clearly said in the statements that their budget is 50, a cap of 1,500 per month per employee now.
Right, because
When
they don't necessarily see the value coming just yet. Like they're
no. The average
Mhm.
engineer cost was 150 to 250 a month in tokens, while
Right,
power
right. No, no,
users
I'm not disagreeing with you on
no,
that they're spending money, but if you're searching using, Fable 5 to search
no, no,
for,
no, 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 no,
something, yeah.
no, no, no. The average engineer cost was 150 to 250 a month, and
Mhm,
power users were using 500 to 2,000.
mhm,
Now they have a budget of 1,500 per tool per month per
mhm.
employee. The
Right.
budget is actually up across the board. Now, how many
Mhm,
tokens they use, if they go to cheaper models, they're just going to use more tokens, which
mhm,
I completely agree. They're going to spend way less on tokens, and the throughput will probably expand quite a bit. But
right.
the actual numbers, their budget went up on a per person account. It's
Mm,
there is no it's what it is. The average engineer cost was 150 to 250 a month. Now there's a budget of 1,500 per tool per month.
can you say that again? I'm sorry. Like,
Sure,
can you just show everyone? I'm trying to
sure.
understand this a little bit.
So this right here,
Mhm,
the average engineer cost 150 to 250 a month in tokens, while power
mhm.
users ended up costing between 500 to 2,000. And the
Right,
CTO in one session burned 1,200.
right.
On June 2nd, Bloomberg reported that an Uber spokesperson confirmed a cap of 1,500 a month per employee per AI coding tool. That is
Mhm,
way more than the average engineering cost of up to 250 a month. And their
mm.
R&D in Q1 was up 17% year over year and is significantly more than 25%
Can I see where
for
you got this
3.4
data from?
billion.
Can I just see
Yeah,
where you got
but
the data?
hold on. I can pull up the articles. Give me one sec.
Mhm. Because here's the thing: if you have a token budget, they blow through it. Your idea is, hey, wait a second, let's keep
So here's
going.
the Fortune magazine article
Mhm. Okay,
that I took everything for. Monthly cost per engineer range 150 to
hold on. So
250 on average.
let's read this. The numbers behind the spend are what make the story instructive rather than anecdotal. Monthly cost per engineer range from 1,500 to on average with power user and blah blah blah. The tool did not fail. The engineers did not misuse it. They use it exactly for the workloads designed to handle parallel agent execution, large code base. Okay, keep going down. From why token billing breaks additional budgeting. Scroll up a little bit. Sorry. That create a culture incentive to consume more tokens, which translated directly into faster budget burn. The teams driving adoption were not the same teams managing the spend, and the organizational gap turned out to be load bearing flaw. So basically, people were just burning tokens and no one was controlling them, right?
So, I mean, so I'm trying to log into my other emails so I can bring up the Bloomberg article. This is behind a paywall.
Yeah, I mean, look, I don't think organizations are about not spending money, but you have to get an ROI out of that spend. I think that's going to be the main sticking
Well,
point eventually. And from what Gartner and everyone else is saying, the 91% of all AI related spend haven't seen any real ROI yet. I mean, I'm sure that from a coding standpoint, there's probably some decent productivity boost, but I wonder I
and
wonder if
then this
the
is from
ROI
Bloomberg,
calculation.
and
Yeah.
this is where I got the rest of the information from.
Mhm.
Limiting all employees to 1,500 in monthly token spending per AI coding tool. So the
Okay.
budget has gone up from 250 to 1,500, and
Well, I
it's
mean,
actually more.
a budget and a limit are two different things, though.
Well,
Like if
limit,
if you
budget, same thing. Because
no, it's not.
if the
It's
budget
not.
was 150 to 250, and now it's 1,500 per month per AI coding tool, that's more money you're giving each employee on average to spend on tokens.
That's limiting all employees. So no, I think this is a little bit different. Like
It's
I
not.
this is something that we'd have to probably examine, because if your idea is let's give everyone $250 and everyone just burned through it within a quarter, that doesn't mean that like all of a sudden you're like, you know what, let's increase the limits on everyone. Like that doesn't make
I mean,
sense. I think what it means is that there's a $1,500 limit, right? But if let's say you're going over your limit, you're not like getting any productivity out of it, I'm sure that they're not exactly going to keep something like that.
if you're not getting productivity out of it, they're not going to allow you to do it. But
Right.
1,500 and monthly, I mean, the monthly average per engineer was ranging 150 to 250 on average prior. Now it is all employees 1,500 in monthly token spending per AI coding tool. It jumped 7x. They are spending allowing employees to spend 7x more on tokens.
Listen,
I think there's no way to escape that. That is what they are doing. The budget per employee went from 150.
But not everyone is going to spend $1,500.
I'm not saying they are, but they increased the budget by that much. Like they're spending more. They didn't cut their token budget. And I had so many people bombarding me over the past week that Uber's cutting their token budget. I'm like, you guys are wrong. You're flat out wrong. Like that's clearly not what's being reported or backed up by Uber.
I think you have to at least I first of all, me looking at this, if I was a CEO, I'm looking at this. The first thing I'd say is, why does a non-engineer need a token budget? Like that was the first thing I would say. I was like, look, you don't need a token budget. Okay. Like your job is to just do the job. Like you don't need a token budget for email. You can use like the free version of ChatGPT if you want, right? Like I don't need to spend Fable 5 and Opus 4.8 tokens on you writing an email.
There's going to be revisions of this, and there's no question about that. I mean,
right.
I wouldn't be surprised if in a quarter or two they come out and they do something else from what it is today. Like this is going to be moving target. There's no question.
I would give my top engineers who are like workhorses the ability to have unlimited tokens or tokens at a high limit, but I'd probably limit the amount of people that actually using it. And I think that's one of the control systems that will eventually happen, where organizations will control the number of people that have access to the consumption. And it's actually going to be eventually tailored to ROI statistics, right? So if you're not getting an ROI and everyone's just burning tokens just to burn them, and not to mention the cost of tokens is coming down too. So I don't know.
If their R&D goes to $7 billion and you don't see free cash flow expand, there's going to be some heads on the pike. There's no question about that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I went down the rabbit hole and started doing the research because I was getting bombarded in the chat about Uber is slashing its token budget. I'm like, no, that's not what's being reported at all. So we'll see when they report earnings and we'll see what happens. But, so many people were saying this to me. And then I started going down the rabbit hole with McDonald's after Jamie Dimon. So I started researching what other companies, large companies, are really implementing AI. And it got me really thinking.
I think one of the things that we have to look, I'm not disagreeing with you that I think every organization will have some level of AI in their process, just like every single company in the country right now has the internet. If you said no one's but it's not every company has a T1 line directly connected to every facility that they have. You know what I mean? Like some of them are fine using just regular cable.
Absolutely.
So I think that's we need to consider that. Like it's the same thing like Opus 4.8, Fable 5. A lot of these models, especially the ones that are super expensive, 90% of, I would say probably 95% of people do not need any of the stuff that's there.
I'd agree with you.
And I think the calculus that everyone keeps assuming is that you need the highest level models to do like this whole thing that you said with McDonald's, right?
Yep.
You don't need Opus 4.8 to take an order, like a transcription order. That you could get like a Sonnet, like old version of ChatGPT, and it can actually do voice recognition at a very good pace and do all the, like cognition stuff. So the point isn't necessarily that no one wants to spend on AI. It's just, if you're not getting a tangible return on it, then you're going to try to figure out ways to limit your spend. And I think that's the next shoe that we have to kind of drop. Like I think it's the same thing with any industry. Whenever something new comes out, everyone always assumes that it's like nirvana and everyone bids it up, and it's fine. You know, I think there's still probably a lot more room to go, but if companies are recognizing this ROI picture or aren't recognizing it, and we eventually see a digestion phase, I don't know. I don't know how the market's going to react to it. So
I think it's going to come from the SG&A budget. Unfortunately, I don't see a way around it. I really think that we are in the next 5 years going to see a crazy recession. I have a very bad feeling about that unemployment's going to skyrocket. And I know a lot of people don't agree with that, and that's fine. It's more personal opinion because I just don't see a world where, look, AI is the best it's ever been today in the 3 years that we've had. We're roughly 3.3 years from the ChatGPT breakthrough. But on a forward basis, AI is the worst it's ever been going forward. And if you think about how they're going to build with what they have today versus how we got to this point, well, for the very first models and then the next models and the next model, what does AI look like in 2 years? It's just very hard for my brain to think that we're not going to have a recession in 5 years.
Here's my question to you. Okay. Yeah. And this is just, where are you investing? If you are optimistic about this, where are you investing? Because I think that's what the chat wants to know.
Alphabet, Microsoft, Amazon, Meta, the ones that control the data centers. Because you know what? While I have a large investment in NVIDIA, at some point, and I've always said this, I said this from day one with you on the phone 3 years ago when we were talking about you, me, and Amit. At some point, I'm getting out. I just don't think that time's right now or anytime soon for me. But
Joni's coming for you, bro.
No, listen, I always said that, but I'm not getting out today. It could be in 2 years, it could be in 3 years, it could be longer, it could be shorter. I don't know yet. It's when the data starts.
So you're saying
it's going to change.
So you're saying the musical chair. You know, you're playing the game of musical chairs, but you think you're good enough to the point where you will get a chair, and everyone else is gonna have to.
I think the build out is 5 to 10 years left. And I think that after 3 to 5 years, I will be able to extract enough capital out of the NVIDIA trade that I have on that I'll just be happy no matter what happens. I'm not trying to catch a top. You know what I mean? Like, I can't tell you how long the trade's going to last. In my mind, it's already lasted far further. You remember I said it was going to be 18 to 24 months, and I was wrong. Like, we're still early. And we don't even have national full self-driving. We don't have humanoid robotics. That's going to take a tremendous amount of compute. And there's just so many things that we don't have right now that we're going to need a lot of compute for. But ultimately, I believe Alphabet, Amazon, Oracle, Meta, and Microsoft are the real winners, even if they don't look like the winners today. And that's why I've still been buying those companies now when they're down, because ultimately, you're going to need their data centers.
Well, I'm in agreement. Totally in agreement with you. I think Microsoft is one of the most underappreciated companies in the market right now. I don't know why they got sold off so much. Maybe it's because like some of it is software. Maybe that's why. But Microsoft will do well. Google will do well. Amazon will do well. Do I think that they have periods where they'll probably come down because, you know, there's going to be some equity burn off coming from equity investments turning sour? Probably. You know, I think right now, if you look at the value of SpaceX, it's down, which means that Google's going to have to recognize that, you know, in its filings. Same thing with Anthropic. If these Chinese models like Kimi and all of these other things, they readjust, and Anthropic IPOs and that doesn't IPO at the valuation that it did before, and it comes down, that's not very helpful. Like, here's my question to you then. Would you buy the Anthropic IPO?
So I'm going to answer the question, but I need to say something before that. There's also a side of me that does believe that the combination of Broadcom, AMD, all the big chips, there is a side of me that thinks they can get bigger for the next decade or longer, because I think all war and everything will be AI going forward. It's a scary thing to think about, but if I think about, and look, I'm only a couple of years older than you. You remember what 486 computers were like, and then Pentium, and then we had Pentium 2, and technology has never stood still. And this thing that I've been trying to really wrap around my brain is AI the next CPU chip race? And if that is the thing, and I think the new version of NVIDIA's chips are going to tell us, because they're going to drop the cost of tokens by 10x, a multiple of 10x. They're dropping the cost of tokens. What happens after that generation of hardware comes out? And is there going to be such a big demand? Well, I don't know, but it certainly looks like there's going to be a huge demand for it. And I would rather own the data centers and the hardware companies than Anthropic, for the idea that at this point, while I think Anthropic can do really well and I think OpenAI can do really well, I think there's going to be much more competition on the commoditization of the models than being able to make money selling the hardware and then the compute that the models need to run. So I think I'd rather be on that side of the business.
Okay, that makes sense. I'm on the same wavelength when it comes to that. I don't think that the models themselves are where you want to look for real value. I think the value is actually probably going to come from
it's
somewhere
also
else.
so hard to know because they're not public companies. We don't have any of the real numbers.
True.
It's very hard for me to. I'm trying to be as transparent as possible with that.
Well, so there is one thing that we can do. We can infer that a lot of the RPO that's coming out on a lot of these hyperscalers is coming from OpenAI and Anthropic, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
So then what happens if they can't finance that?
Yeah, look, if OpenAI, let's just say they can't let's say they go away tomorrow. So about 48% of Oracle's RPO. Like I looked at the numbers, it's 48%. They still would have 338 billion of RPO contracted. But that's a huge hit. There's no question that's a huge hit. And the question becomes, as the price per token comes down, is the throughput going to be enough on an enterprise level? And on an individual level, will people keep the plans? I can tell you that I'm not getting rid of my Claude plan for anything. Now, I've talked to, I'd say 5 people right now. I'm the only one paying for Claude. Nobody's using, like the 5 people I talked to over the past couple of days.
I'm using Claude. I have Claude.
I'm not counting you, Amit. Like, I'm just talking about like people I've worked with and stuff. Yeah. Nobody's paying for this stuff. Somebody called me today and asked them if I could help them with something because they used to work with me and I said, I've never purchased anything like that. I've never negotiated a contract like that. I'm like, ask Claude or OpenAI. They're like, why? Like, are you using this stuff? They're like, no. I'm like, you don't use any LLMs? They're like, no. I'm like, well, put that question into an LLM and tell me what it spits out, because they're going to be able to give you a better answer than me, because I just don't have experience in it. But it's amazing how many people just aren't even using these yet.
Yeah, and I think the use case for a lot of people is probably going to be more like a search engine than like a real thing. So like, I don't know how many people are actually going to like build stuff. I remember when the .com thing was happening, everyone said everyone is going to have their own website. I'm like, okay, like why? And then you realize what they were talking about was just everyone's going to have their own Facebook page because that's what happened, right? Everyone just had like either a MySpace or a Friendster or the other ones back then, whatever. Like, but the point is, I think AI is probably going to be the same thing. I think the applications are probably going to be at the company level with engineers, and they're probably going to use AI for a lot of things to build stuff. But I think there's also going to be a lot of efficiencies that are going to be built in as well. So I don't know where this goes, but every time I hear that the hyperscalers are spending X amount of dollars more on CapEx, I'm looking at this and saying, okay, well, where's all that liquidity going? And how are they hoovering up those dollars in contrast to it? So I do think that the free cash flow picture for, let's say, Oracle has gone down now, and they're burning cash.
Oh yeah, by a
The
ton.
debt, yeah. So the debt markets are not necessarily happy with them. So funding for them post 2000 probably 27 is going to be difficult, because at that point there's just not going to be a lot of people that are going to be willing to give them any money, and their share price is already down 70% from where they were before. So unless they, I wonder when Oracle is going to have like a blowout V-shaped recovery. I know it's coming.
20 and probably middle to end of 27.
You think so?
Yeah, it can get stupid. I can look. I've been buying it, but I've also said I wouldn't be surprised if it goes under 100. It's just the capex. It's gonna get worse before it gets better.
All Oracle has to say is we are not spending as much money as the market is projecting right now. And I think that sends them into a fucking rally. In which case, then what happens?
Or it does the exact opposite.
What do you mean?
Scares the market that an overbuild happened and everything sells off.
Yeah, that too. Any one of the hyperscalers, if they, I mean, look, we've already got indications that there could be some overbuilding locally. Like Meta basically is selling their compute to Anthropic, not because I don't think that they have excess compute, but I think there was a point where they thought that using all of this compute to develop their own LLM was a good idea. And then, it just didn't work out as well as they thought. And so now they've got a whole bunch of capacity. They're like, okay, we've got a willing buyer in Anthropic, sell it to them, get the margin. Same thing with Elon and Tesla, not Tesla, XAI. That's two already. And then Google is talking about like cost rationalization on the inference costs. And I'm like, these guys are getting serious about saving money. You remember this is something that happened in 2022. In 2022, when everyone had overhired, and they started to like indicate that, hey, we're probably gonna, what was the term that Brad Gertzner used? They're gonna tighten their belt. I think that's what it was.
Maybe. I'm not sure. But look, I think that the bean counters at each company are very serious about saving money, driving efficiency. But at the end of the day, at this point, there's no indication that the spending is stopping. And I went and looked at the Morgan Stanley financial conference with Blackstone, and Jonathan Gray, their COO and president, he put hard numbers on the platform. And he said Blackstone has roughly $160 billion of data centers that are either up and running or under construction with long-term leases already signed. And Blackstone has a pipeline of future projects roughly the same size waiting behind them.
I don't know, dude.
I'm just saying, I am spending so much time going through all these different conferences and all these different earnings calls, trying to see where I'm wrong, and I'm like, I don't fucking see it.
I don't think you're wrong, and I don't think they're lying, but I do think that there might be a timeline situation.
There's a timeline. It's just where the timeline is the question.
Yeah,
I don't know.
The other thing is also like everyone always invests based on today's reality, and the thing is tomorrow's reality could come at you super fast. Like let's say 6 months ago, everyone was not even 6 months, 3 months ago, everyone was at Anthropic, like everyone's going to use Claude. Claude is the best agent, blah, blah, blah. And then comes out Kimmy yesterday and says, we got Claude level intelligence and it's going to cost you 10 cents on the dollar compared to them. And now all of a sudden everyone's like, holy shit, what? Like, I don't know. I think this is even though we want to try to assume the best, I would say keep your ears to the ear, like listen to the music. I'm personally, just if you're asking me, I'm probably going to start taking some wins here and there and plowing it into other things that I have more structural belief in. Like I'm a believer in SaaS. I think SaaS will come back. I'm not a big fan of the chip makers, but whatever. Like I think that you're absolutely right in that this is a game of musical chairs. But there's one thing I learned while playing musical chairs when I was a kid. It's better to be the first one that sits down than the last one.
Nobody ever
So
got hurt taking a profit.
yeah. And
Period.
like I said, and I'm at a point in life where I don't need to take the risks anymore, man. Like I
I
live a
get
very
that.
low key life. I live a very low key life. I don't have like the crazy expenses that I need. Like even if I get like a nice 7 to 10% return per year, and I can get that very easily with some good fixed income, I'm not looking to take those risks anymore. You know, and when the market is trading at such a high multiple, it's
I,
a good idea to be a little
I
bit
don't know
more.
that we really are that high. I don't know. The
What are you
market doesn't
talking?
feel exhausted to me at all.
I think we're one black swan / liquidity event away from the house of cards coming down.
We're always one black swan event or
We
liquidity event
are.
away. We're
We
always,
are.
I mean, we're hanging on by a thread every day. Every day. It's true. It's true. I mean, that shit happens. The S&P could go to 6,000 over the next 5 months, and it could stay there for 2 years, but eventually it'll come back. Blackstone, here's the other thing with Blackstone. They're investing 30 billion in AI data centers in Japan over the next 3 to 5 years. And then you got China.
What's funny is people keep saying Kris is a bear at heart. I'm not bearish. I'm just cheap and I'm old. I'm an old cheap
Kris
bastard.
isn't a bear. He just, if I had
He's
to
just
put it,
cheap. I'm cheap.
I don't even know about cheap. I just think you're more risk averse than you used to be.
Well, of course, I'm more risk averse than I used to be. Right now is a time when everyone is
like, if this was
about
3 years ago, you would be more likely to make a different move.
Oh hell yeah! Everything was sold off. You were buying Google at freaking $100 a share when these guys were projected to grow like 30-40% a year. Like no, when there is time to get bullish, I get bullish. Like
Absolutely.
I do think I don't mind putting my money where my mouth is. It's just for some reason it doesn't feel like there's just a lot more upside left on this. And for me, and I'm probably wrong, and you guys who want to stay in it, be in it, do your thing. But like I said, as you get older, this is one of the things that you look forward to, basically not having to take the risks, but enjoying your life.
If I didn't see the value that I see in it, I would not be allocating how I'm allocating. Like, I bought a bunch of CoreWeave this week because I think it's inexpensive. But that also, if CoreWeave was to go to 150 or 200, I'd probably get out, even if it could go to 300 or 400, because I would have made a double. And I think CoreWeave is inexpensive for the numbers it's doing. And I just think we're in the beginning.
Someone says, Kris, I haven't seen you bullish in 3 years. You must have missed when I was bullish on Cruise Line,
start with that.
United Healthcare, Google, Meta. Like, no, I've got plenty of things.
Kris picks his spots. That's what happens. He picks his spots like everybody. I just happen to pick a lot of spots.
Yeah. And the thing is, like, some people are more used to following the momentum. I'm not really a momentum guy. And I don't think I've ever been really that good at momentum chasing anyway. The one time I chased momentum that really like got me in trouble was BM&R. For some reason, I wish that call had never come through, Steven. You did such a good job of giving me all of that literature on Ethereum. And I was telling my wife, I said, you know what? I was driving. I still remember.
What if Clarity Act comes through this week?
I don't know, dude, but I am PTSD'd from my BM&R experience.
You lose some, you win some.
No, I agree. At the end of the day, I don't blame you. It's still
still holding
my decision. You're still holding it?
Yeah.
I sold that shit in January. I was like, bro, I'll take my losses, bro. I took my tax harvesting losses and I am good. I'm like,
I'm still writing off my Chesapeake losses. I don't need to take a loss in this yet.
Good old Chesapeake.
If I ever meet Doug Lawler, oh my God, I can't even say verbally what's going to happen.
For me, it's the guy from what's his name? from God, I can't even say their name. I forgot. Wow, my brain is blocking it. But his name was William Cutt. He was the CEO of damn, I can't remember them. This is a healthy sign. I can't remember the
You're getting
company's
over
name
it. You're less
that I
scarred. Let's move on.
that I
Service
lost so much money on. I
service
can't
now.
remember.
I think
Oh
the
my
street
God.
is crazy. And you know why, Chris? I don't think that they understand how big the Armis deal is with Verza. I think that's how you pronounce it.
Veza.
Veza. I don't think that they are looking at this, the expanding TAM into security. And I think you're going to see subscription growth increase because they're going to be able to cross sell very well. And these are two acquisitions that fit inside their software stack so well. I think the market's wrong on ServiceNow. I think ServiceNow is going to rebound. The problem is, and I started saying it today with Salesforce.
Yeah.
I don't know if these
Someone said
are
something funny. It says, I also don't listen to anyone's advice when they insinuate they have plenty of money. I didn't say I have plenty of money. I said I don't have the expenses that are needed for me to take risks anymore. Like,
yeah, not having to take risk and having plenty of money are two different things.
Yeah, like I'm not rich. I'm comfortable, but I just don't like. Why do? This is just a philosophical question. Why do you invest? Do you invest to win, or do you invest to like what's the purpose of investing for you?
The purpose of investing
Mm-hmm.
is to generate an ROI on your assets.
Okay, right. And then I'm saying, like, when you make this money, what do you do with it?
When I make money, I roll it into another investment because I'm not in a position where I'm living off of it.
Right, but you live a good life, right?
I mean, some would say,
But you're
yes,
not. But
some
you're
would
not
say boring.
satisfied. But you're not satisfied.
It's not that I'm not
Right?
satisfied. I'm a little young to retire.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I
I
for
want to
me.
address something real quick. Steven, do you know how to read? I'm listening to the Uber section right now. They were spending $150 per day, not per month. That's not what it said. So if you look at the screen right now, or whenever you get to it, they
Yeah,
were
I'd be
spending
surprised.
150 to 250 on average monthly cost. So yes, I do know how to read. I admit I'm not that smart, but I do know how to read. I can read at a 5th grade level.
I wonder if that article is wrong then, because $150. To be honest, me and that's like a subscription to a regular SaaS business. That's not something that you break a budget over.
Yeah, I mean, I can tell you that from the SaaS contracts I negotiated, some of them were 179 a seat. Some
Yeah.
of them were
So then
230 a seat.
170, and that's like breaking your
So,
budget. I doubt that. That no way makes sense. I think that
it's from
article.
Forbes. So it's from Forbes,
Yeah,
not me.
I'm glad that person brought that up. That does not make any sense. $150 a month for an employee, bro. Most SaaS businesses, like, that's pretty typical. So how does that make any sense? Maybe it's
That's the
per day.
information I have on Forbes. That's all.
Maybe that person is right. Maybe it is per day.
Maybe not.
Because
But
150. Listen, 150 per day. That makes total sense, because that ends up being close to what, like 45, almost $5,000 a month per person. Like, let's say let's say it was
no, they're not
$200.
right. They're not right. So I'm on. So all right, now I'm on a different one. This is the actual. So this is where I guess they cited it from. So Uber CTO Previn Nabia, whatever. Scale that across 5,000 engineers, blah, blah, blah. Reported individual engineers cost roughly 500 to 2,000 per month. And that was the engineers. So I would say probably everybody had that 250 and engineers were more.
So let's say they had 5,000 engineers and it averaged 2,000. So let's say 1,500. So that's what, like 5,000 times 150, right? No, 1,500. right? Multiply that. That's $7.4 million times 12. It's $90 million. No, that's something. Math ain't mathing, bro.
Individual engineer costs range from 500 to 2,000 per month. And they
Right.
said also in the initial one that the monthly cost range 150 to 250. So some engineers were having a larger cost. So they put a cap at 1,500 per. I mean, that's
Yeah,
what they
but
were
now it makes more sense. I mean, you think about it, like right now, 1,500 per month times, let's say everyone maxed it out at 1,500. You have 5,000 engineers, you're looking at 7.5 million a month, which is fine for a company like Uber. That's
peanuts.
fine. Right. So then how much were they spending before that they blew out the entire year's budget in one quarter?
Yeah, but we don't know what the budget was. That's the thing.
Well, I mean, if we can assume that 7.5 is what's currently allocated, right? So you multiply that by 12, that's $90 million a
So
year.
let's just say
So that means that
a quarter. They spent the 90 in a quarter.
No, I'm saying that's what they did. They spent 90 in a month. No, yeah, you're right. 90 in a quarter.
Yeah.
Right. So
that now
would
they
mean
put guardrails on it, and they're giving
right.
each engineer per tool 1,500.
Right. So they were spending almost $360 million a year if they had continued the way that they were spending before. 360 million. So they spent $90 million in one quarter.
So the way, hold on. Claude Code, 5,000 engineers in December, blah, blah, blah. Average engineer cost 150 to 250 per month in tokens. In April, the CTO confirmed the company exhausted the entire 2026 AI budget in 4 months. Average engineer cost was 150 to 250 in tokens. Power users ran 500 to 2,000. Now they're doing 1,500 per tool per month. So I don't know.
Who knows what their budget was?
Who knows? Maybe they'll talk about it on the next earnings call.
Yeah, someone said, "How the hell do they have 5,000 engineers?" That's a good point.
Question. There's a lot of good points with how much employees some of these companies have. I'm not buying any more Ethereum right now, but I may buy more BMNR, we'll say. Crypto's exhausted, and you know what? Maybe it rebounds from here. I think the Clarity Act is really what you're going to need.
Amit, what is Kris and Steve listen to the Google episode and Acquired podcast? I will listen to that.
I will listen to it.
Can you break it down what we should be listening
for? What are we supposed to listen for? What did they say?
Yeah, if it's just like the founding of Google and everything else, like I've pretty well read on that, but I'd love to hear.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. There's a lot. Like, look at PayPal. Look at my employees PayPal has. What? Now, look, I'm not a tech engineer person, but you would think that there's a little bit of bloat. When I saw their employee line, it's a little wild.
Oh yeah, it's pretty wild.
But that's what scares me about SaaS right now. Even if because I don't believe the narrative is real. I think that SaaS is alive and well. The problem is the narrative is so bad. Maybe these companies act like PayPal for a little bit.
You want to know? You want to know the company that we should be looking at?
I'm all ears.
Have you heard of Bending Spoons?
Oh God! All right, what's the thesis?
The thesis is they are very tech savvy.
Mm-hmm.
They come into these smaller companies and they basically use AI and they create like an AI first culture and just lay everyone off, and they end up generating a ton of cash flow.
Is that European company, right?
Yes. Show everyone. They just IPO'd literally like a few weeks ago, and they're already down. But I looked at the metrics. I mean, this honestly feels very Hawk Tan-ish to me.
You know they own AOL, right?
Yeah, they own Evernote, Vimeo, all of these things. But look at the numbers. I think that's what's impressive about them. Look at the EBITDA that they're generating
1 billion registered users, 400
across all their
million monthly
platforms.
actives, 7 million monthly paying. Okay.
Yeah,
I didn't even realize Vimo was still a product. What the
yeah.
hell does AOL do?
I don't know.
They own
StreamYard,
StreamYard?
yeah, and many more. I'm
Huh.
telling you, this is really worth deep diving into. I actually messaged I didn't message, but I added what's his name? Arnie, because Arnie's from Europe. This company is based in Milan. Like I said, the guy who's running this, very young guy, worth looking into. Because a lot of these businesses, they generate a good amount of cash, but they spend a lot of that money on a bunch of engineers and all these people that may or may not be doing something with that. And so if these guys can come in, strip out 80% of the personnel, layer on a whole bunch of AI, now all of a sudden you got a massive cash flowing business. You take that additional cash flow, you recycle that back into acquiring another company, and it's a pretty good thing. I mean, look at their margins; they're
All right. So
stacked.
1.3 billion 2025 revenue, 21% operating income. Not bad. I like that a lot. Adjusted operating, 47% is awesome. 84% CAGR on revenue.
So someone said all the junk packed together. Like, no, it's just these are more
You mean
niche
it's a
products.
CDO of a CDO?
No, this is a very niche product. So, like an example, like StreamYard, like everyone right now, you guys are watching on YouTube, but me and Steve, we send each other StreamYard links, and we
Yeah.
use StreamYard as the thing. And Steven pays monthly for the StreamYard account, and so all of our friends, including Amit, Tanner, everyone has StreamYard. So
I mean, that's a great growth rate.
yeah, I'm telling you, they do the same playbook. They find companies that have a lot of bloat, buy the company, lay off the people, put in the AI first principles thinking, take that additional cash flow, layer it onto the next business. And a lot of these businesses are so like entrenched already that they can squeeze a good bit of margin out of them. Like, how many people do you really need at Eventbrite? But I've gotten plenty of Eventbrite
Dude, I have no
like
idea.
things. Yeah.
Not
Junkyards
seeing
make
any
profit
analyst estimates. I'll do some research on it.
because they're brand new.
Yeah, it's not that big of a company. 20 billion.
Yeah. So they said this is a mini Constellation software. Constellation software is a little bit different though. Like Constellation software is more like, like the Undertakers. Like, there's like a software that's built for like morticians. These guys will buy that niche product. But the thing is that mortician group, they're very, very averse to trying new products. So Constellation gets this nice long stream of cash flow. And if you look at like Constellation and their let me just pull it up real quick so everyone can see their returns. It's a very good return. The only thing I don't like about them is that they're Canadian. I don't typically like investing in Canadian companies.
Especially
But
when we
look at
start
this.
hiring them again.
Yeah, look at this. In 2017, they were generating 2.4 billion in revenue. This year, they're going to do about 12. So that's a 6x growth in just revenue. And by 2028, they're projected to do almost 18 billion in revenue. Their EBITDA has been growing literally from 600 million to right now to almost 340 million. And that's going to expand to almost $5 billion in the next like 2 years. So this is a nice growth compounder. And then on top of it, when you layer on like EPS, look at that EPS growth.
It's incredible.
Yeah. So don't knock companies just because you don't understand the business models.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to really look into it.
Yeah. So
Bending
this is,
spoons.
like I said, I want to talk to someone who actually knows this company
Yeah.
and can give me like a good understanding of like what exactly, because I mean I know the thesis, but I don't know necessarily the actual like leadership and all the stuff. So I have to do a lot more research in that. But yeah, this is the business that they're basically targeting. I wonder if they have a thing for it, like a slide deck for like an investment roadshow.
Well, I'll tell you, I made a new investment last night.
And what?
Drake May, baby. Drake May.
What's Drake May?
Patriots quarterback. Patriots are winning the Super Bowl this year.
Okay. Patriots to win the Super Bowl?
Patriots. The only reason I'm saying that, Drake May took him to the Super Bowl in his second year last year. Kid's married. He's not going out at night. He's going to be locked in looking for revenge this year. King of the North. That's right. King of the North.
What's the market cap on this Bending Spoons thing?
20-something billion.
Huh. Why does it say something different here?
Seeking Alpha could be wrong. Seeking Alpha said the market cap is 20.58 billion.
Okay, we're gonna have to look at this because I'm looking at something and it's weird. Maybe I'm hallucinating. I feel like there's so many people writing like using junk to do their write-ups that now you're starting to see like a lot more mistakes come up. This whole thing with $150 a month thing, that's clearly a mistake. You know that, right? Like Forbes.
What about Forbes?
No, I'm saying that that's a clear mistake.
What?
That the whole thing with $150 to $250 per engineer per month. Like whoever wrote that is not right. Like the editor should be held to account.
I mean, we could send them a tweet and find out.
Yeah, they need to do a correction on it. Because the thing is, like a lot of these things are going to feed into an LLM because what does the LLM do? Goes into it, starts searching for it, and then does like a projection going forward on Uber spend, and now all of a sudden it's spitting out a price target that's woefully, under the level that it could be. I'm telling you, garbage in, garbage out. Has anyone else noted that, guys? Like, have you seen like a lot more mistakes online with like information? Like I caught something the other day, like check this out on X. Well, not on X, but on Google when I was searching for just Adobe, right? And this is on like their main website. This came up. Look at this. Sorry. Adobe. There you go. Look at the market cap on Adobe. This is from Google Finance. This is from Google.
That's wrong. Obviously, that's wrong.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. Like, this is literally from Google Finance.
Okay. Addicted to trading. I'm going to have to buy a ton of contracts now because of you. Drake May is a 7-cent contract for the 2026 MVP winner. Let's go.
Yeah.
I may have started building a prediction market arbitrage system, by the way.
So someone said, Kris, how do you know the $150 number is wrong? It's because their entire budget is not $9 million per month. So if it's 150, they have 5,000 engineers. If you're spending 150, look, one second. So it's $150 times 5,000, right? That means that they're spending $750,000 on their token budget. And that would mean that that's how they blew out their numbers. Does that make any sense?
I honestly didn't hear what you said.
No,
I
I'm
was moving
saying like according to the article, they were spending on a per engineer basis $150 to $250,
and
right?
then power users were 500 to 1500.
Right. But I'm saying that if you took 5,000 people and put it to the max, which is $250, that's still $1.2 million per month. You're telling me that that is the budget for Ella for their AI for 3 months, right? So that number doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I mean, I would like more details. I mean, look, I
Yeah.
went by what was in the article. I
Yeah.
would like
No,
more details.
Google Finance corrected it, by the way. So John Fetzer, Google corrected it. It's not, it doesn't say that anymore. But when I was searching for it, it did say that. That's the problem.
Dude, why is Polymarket so awesome?
What do you
This
mean?
is such a better way to gamble. Like, if you were gonna bet, like seriously, if you were gonna bet $100 on something, right?
Mhm.
Instead of taking that, you can legitimately buy contracts on Josh Allen, Mahomes, and May, and build yourself a much better arbitrage.
Say that again. Sorry.
So instead of putting X amount of money on a single player on a traditional betting site, you
Mhm.
could build out an arbitrage system per every $100 or whatever
Why
and
don't you?
take multiple people.
Why don't you? Go ahead.
Oh, I started, I may have got like 8 APIs right now, and Claude may be building a prediction overhaul thing for arbitrage as we speak.
I knew that this was gonna happen. The degeneracy just
Oh,
keeps
it's
on going.
if
Using the
I show,
LLMs.
hold on. If
Mhm.
I showed you my Claude chat, oh my God, forget about it. Hold on. It's so bad in a great way. It is so bad in a great way. Hold on. Where is it?
Listen, you know what? This is just an idea. I wonder if you could use Claude Code to cheat on blackjack, like online blackjack.
Man.
Like you can have Claude do the counting, like
Of
card
course
counting
you
for
can.
you.
Dude,
So
there's
just
already
use.
programs for that.
There are.
Yeah, just freaking yes, there's definitely programs for that. That's so easy.
No, for I'm saying like an
I know
online
what you're saying.
casino.
So easy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So why don't you do it? Why aren't you gotten
because I
rich
don't
off of
trust
that?
online casinos.
Okay, good point.
Oh,
Good
if the
point.
count's plus 18, am I really going to be able to prove that they freaking didn't rig the code? Like, no, no, not at all.
Yeah.
No.
I'm always looking for ways to game the system. I haven't found any good ones yet. By the way, can you please tell my wife not to play freaking the field? The field
No, the
is the
field's the
worst.
worst bet.
What?
The field is the worst bet.
Yes, it is the worst bet. If you play craps, do not play the field.
Worst bet. It's a sucker bet.
It's such a sucker's bet. It looks like really good because you have all of those numbers, like, but
You got to
it's
do the math on how many combinations there are. It's a bad bet.
yeah. Just stick to 6 8s, pass line, put money on odds. You could do don't pass to, doesn't matter, you know. You could do the calls. That's what I do. I either do the Molly, the what is it called? The 3 count Molly,
Yeah.
or I do the don't pass 6 and 8, and that's it. Like it's a very simple strategy, but it works. Start at the don't pass, let the number, let the number come out, do come bets on 6 and 8, and then if it lands, expand it to the 4 and the 9, not the 4 and the 9, sorry, the 5 and the 9,
You see what this
and then
does?
just no what? And just keep collecting, baby. The build order stays the same in college football share.
Prediction market edge system build plan. It's already building, Chris. I wasn't fucking with you. Like it's a legitimately already building. I'm so bad. If only I had an unlimited budget for AI.
Good times. Okay, so let's talk about ServiceNow.
Yeah, the market's wrong.
The market is wrong. ServiceNow is
Market's
fine.
wrong.
Yeah, that's it. There's really not much.
No,
else to say
the
to
market's
them.
wrong. They're discounting the security asset they acquired, cybersecurity. And here's the big thing I think that people are getting wrong. The spend on cybersecurity has to increase.
Yes.
There's no way it doesn't increase. And ServiceNow already has the hooks into so many IT departments. And you want your security product to merge into your system of records slash workflow production slash ticketing system slash everything the ITSM is with ServiceNow. And when you already have ongoing, how many, do you know what the overview meetings are? Were they once a quarter at your company, probably with ServiceNow?
Say that again.
The overview meetings, were they probably once a quarter with ServiceNow?
I don't know. I'm not in leadership. I'm not in leadership,
So
I wouldn't know.
most of the time you meet with these companies once a quarter or so to go over everything. And now if you are with and this is not what ServiceNow does, but if you do a managed IT service provider, you're meeting with them on a weekly basis. And cyber threats are going to get more complex due to AI. So companies are going to have to spend more on cybersecurity. And I think ServiceNow is in the right place, right time with this. We'll see.
Yeah. I think this should be enough for most people at this point, but whatever here. You don't need to make,
because of our
can you hear?
Yeah.
Okay.
original vision, NVIDIA runs AI agents on ServiceNow. And I made the observation, and I told you this, and of course you knew this, but I told you just as a third party watching the world of enterprise AI, ServiceNow is destined to be the best platform, operating system of enterprise AI agents. And the reason for that is because every company in the world needs AI agents, and those AI agents are going to be curated, managed, made better by the IT department. And ServiceNow is already in every company's IT department. And so it was a natural thing for us to do. And it's been a great partnership.
It has, Jensen. And
because
I mean, do you really need me to explain it? You just had the godfather of AI, the guy who's literally selling AI to everyone, saying, we use ServiceNow. Like, what more of an endorsement do you need?
Yeah.
You really need me or Steve to talk about it when you got Jensen telling you? Come on, it's pretty simple.
ServiceNow is one of the best IT companies out there.
Yeah.
If you were to go on any of the LLMs and ask them, what is the most popular, I guess, how would you classify if you're going to ask an LLM, the IT management software system? Or
say that again? Sorry.
What would you classify ServiceNow in broad terms? IT service management.
It's not a ticketing system. It is a ticketing system, but it's like the operating system for IT departments. Like they do everything. Like you got to observe.
They are the market leader.
Yeah, they've got observability, all your equipment, all your users. They integrate pretty much everything into your all of your application servers, all of your instances, all of the user accounts setups, and like there isn't an IT person. Like the first thing I do, literally, I log into work. The first thing I do is check my Outlook, and the second thing I do is check the tickets that I have outstanding, and I go to ServiceNow. Yep. I do everything in ServiceNow. I have to reach out to a user, use ServiceNow, find the thing, call the user, deal with the issue. Once the thing is resolved, I take all the screenshots that I need of the resolution notes, put that back into ServiceNow. I'm like, keep it moving. Like everything is in ServiceNow for me. So when I see someone say to me, you can just replace ServiceNow, I'm like, good luck. Like
what you just said is my biggest gripe with the whole SaaS thing because everybody are so quick to say, oh, you can just replace it. Oh, you can just replace it. There's something called contracts. And not to mention, even if hypothetically, Chris is running a business and I'm in IT and I vibe code something and I spend the money and I create a better product than what we're currently using. Is Chris really going to put his career online and greenlight moving away from a legitimate, and I'm not going to say ServiceNow, just any legitimate enterprise software platform for something that was just spun up in-house? I mean, we're not talking about a database here. That's the biggest thing. And I think a lot of people miss the career-ending ramifications it can have on C-suite members with making a bad call rather than not making a call at all. And that's something people just completely glance over. And while, yes, you can build products with AI that are very good for your business, the question is, you go down this road of replacing. Now, when you're reporting to the board, CFOs and CEOs are not going to sanction ripping and replacing unless it is from a very credible place.
That's a good one. Someone said DeepSeek can now do what ServiceNow does for pennies. Sure, bro. Let's go with that. Good times.
DeepSeek.
You know, they're supposed to be releasing, DeepSeek is about to release a model that supposedly is going to be Opus 4.8 level, but it's going to be like 0.002 cents per million tokens. Like, did you see the news on that?
No.
It's even cheaper than Kimmy.
No.
Let's see.
It's a race to the bottom.
Check this out. Yeah. I don't know if this is 100% true or verified. I'm just saying that this is what is being reported by some credible sources. So Opus 4.8 level performance, right? Rumored pricing is not 2 cents, like 0.0028 cents per million tokens. Like, imagine this thing comes out with this kind of pricing. With this kind of pricing.
The throughput's going to go crazy.
It's going to be insane, dude.
Throughput is going to go crazy.
And here's the thing. If you had told me this like 2 years ago, I would have said, nah, bro, it's not happening. But these guys did it last time. So I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens. Wednesday is going to be exciting. We have ServiceNow. We got Alphabet. I will be listening to the Alphabet call, going through everything. ServiceNow I may not get to, but I'll be doing Alphabet. And they're going to set the tone. I think the AI revolution right now lives and dies with this earnings call. I hate to say it.
Do you think so? If one of the hyperscalers said we're done?
Yeah, I mean, 190 billion this year, and they just raised 85 billion in a bond offering. If they don't spend at least 225 or 250 next year, if they say they're pulling back, which I don't think they're going to do, but if they do, the market's going to go be down 1,000 points on the NASDAQ.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, we are right now living and dying with Alphabet.
Jeez, man, are you going to hedge at all, or are you just going to say screw it?
No, I'm jumping in head first. I'm ready because I don't think they're going to do it. But I'm just saying right now, with all the back and forth that so many people on X are going with, and people on CNBC and just financial markets in general, because think about it. If they pull back, think about what Ed Zitron, Michael Burry, think about what they're going to say. Think about the field day they're going to have, and then how many people then start to flip and like, these guys were right. This is all a bubble, blah, blah, blah. Everything lives and dies with Alphabet on Wednesday.
Yeah. Someone said, Chris, I don't understand how you can be so nervous about AI industrial revolution, but at the same time concentrate so hard in a single SaaS name. It's probably because I work with the SaaS name. I see it right in my face. I know the value that it provides. I know my organization's like system, so it's hard for me to have that same level of conviction on something that I don't use. Like, it's just normal part of how an investor is. Like when you tell me, if someone tells me like, hey, listen, pizza tastes disgusting. I've had pizza. It tastes amazing. So to me, it's easier for you to convince me that pizza, that like, let's say something that I haven't had tastes really bad. But I've had pizza. I eat it. I love it. So you can tell me whatever you want. I have more conviction in pizza than I do in, let's say, Brussels sprouts. So if you told me Brussels sprouts,
100%.
yeah, if you told me Brussels sprouts are disgusting, I'd be like, yeah, probably. Like I can't disagree with you because I don't know. So
I mean, maybe 5% of people are choosing Brussels sprouts over pizza. I'm not going to say 100%, but
I actually like Brussels sprouts.
Yeah, there's people that like Brussels sprouts. I can see it.
Like what's it called? Fried Brussels sprouts are great. Not fried. What is it called? Like grilled Brussels sprouts. Have you had them? Yeah, sautéed in some. What was it? Like when you go to like I know some people hate asparagus. I love asparagus. With a good steak, asparagus is great, especially if they cook it right.
I had such an amazing steak the other day. Oh my God.
Now tell us how much ServiceNow is paying you.
Oh my God.
Shit, I wish I got paid by ServiceNow.
Kris would be their damn spokesperson.
I would be out there all day.
ServiceNow. All right.
Are there any SaaS names you're looking at besides ServiceNow, maybe?
No, it's the same ones. Workday, ServiceNow, and Salesforce. And I'm not buying any of them. I'm just, look, I'll show you this. This is what really got me going crazy about CoreWeave. I did more research on it, start running the numbers. I mean, they're at an inflection point right now. This is quarterly revenue. 111% year-over-year growth with 99 billion in backlog and inflection point quarter over quarter right here. I think they're going to come in so much higher. It's going to be a true S curve. And when I layer in the EBITDA, because their interest expenses, everybody knows that they have a lot of debt. They just hit $1 billion in 3 months in EBITDA. They are more than able to service their debt. And I think this completely converts into an S curve. So I think we're early on CoreWeave, and this is what I've been building out. And I was early on, let me get rid of the EBITDA. I was early on Nebius, and I invested in that at 80. But if you look at Nebius also, a fraction of the revenue.
Now? What is Nebius now?
180.
180.
Yeah. So I think CoreWeave is going to break out.
IREN. I think IREN is good too.
IREN just signed a big deal.
Yeah, they were up almost 20-something% today.
IREN signed a big deal today.
Unfortunately, my cost basis is higher than my than what I paid for it, but it's not a very meaningful position for me. The thing I like about IREN is just that they just have so much energized capacity. And it just seems like everyone who talks about like these data centers, like one of the things that's going to be a big, big bottleneck seems to be the power. So I'm like, whatever, whoever has access to behind the meter power or fixed contracts, those are the ones that you kind of want to take a look at.
They got me to start looking at Bloom Energy earlier today.
Really?
Yeah. And I started looking at it, and it actually looks interesting with how much it's down.
Yeah.
It actually looks really interesting.
Yeah, I do have IREN. I also have HUT 8 mining too. And HUT 8, it was actually kind of cool. HUT 8 and IREN had deals on the same day. So that's why I'm bring up the stock combine. Let's see where everyone is.
Matt is the only one in the green, I believe.
Yeah. Man, I was thinking of just doing like a pretty much an all SaaS portfolio. But then I was like, there's still some good runners in the AI trade.
I will say this. This is not a representation of you at all. That's
I know.
not how you
everyone was shocked by that. This is a competition. Like I the only name in there that I have like a real position in real life is Iren. I don't have a position in.
Oh, you
I
got
do have a
service now.
no. I have a position in Molina. I have a position in ServiceNow. I have a position in Norwegian, and I have a position in Iren. But the rest, I don't have a position in.
I mean, this is just not representative of how you invest. And then you look at mine. I feel like mine is like a perfect representation of how I invest. Like perfect.
And you're still down though. But
Yeah,
you're up on 4 at least of your positions, which is kind of cool.
Bob, like everybody thought I was crazy taking Baba.
That was good. You did good.
Everybody thought I was taking that. I mean, this is, I would legitimately consider buying every single one of these companies. I own Salesforce. I own Zeta. I own Meta. I owned Baba at one point. I owned Uber at one point. I got out of it.
Yeah.
I own Pepsi. I own Broadcom. I do not own Netflix or Taiwan Semi or MP, but I do own Oracle and CoreWeave. Like I actually own a lot of these companies.
Yeah. You're not worried about CoreWeave's like depreciation? No?
No, not at all.
Okay.
Not at all. Does not worry, man.
You know, this is kind of sad, but we should have all been picking companies like ASML and TSMC and Broadcom. And we really all, I think what happened is
No, I'm
last
in TSM. I went Taiwan Semi.
I know, but I'm saying the last what is it called? Competition. The guys who picked like safer bets underperformed. And so what happened was everyone who did really well, like Matt had like all these small cap names and they outperformed and they killed us.
Dude,
So I was like
35% on SpaceX short.
yeah, that was a good move on his part.
It was a great move.
I'm shocked that he's only up 1% though. But that's
Well,
probably because
ASTS and Micron are killing them.
Ah, true. And the rest are kind of just blanking. Yeah. I have Nubank. I have Venture Global.
Under 100.
I have Amazon. I've got.
And then Jason is just,
yeah, that's just, oof. Nebius. What's GFS?
Global Foundry.
Global Foundry. So his entire portfolio is AI.
Basically. Out of everything in here, the fact that Rivian is the only thing in the green.
That's kind of sad.
Really, like Rivian is the company that's in the green. Like really?
That's really fucked up, but it's actually kind of funny.
No, I'm just saying, like, it's like really, like Rivian. Like I would have thought Honeywell would have been in the green, or Qualcomm, or Corning, or something. Like really, Rivian.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Let's look at Amit's. He picked Apple again.
Yeah, it works. He's up 9%.
Yeah.
It's Reddit. Everything else, Nvidia is down, GEV, Google is down, AMD, Comfort Systems, SanDisk, it's down on Rocket Lab and Bloom Energy. So I think Amit's portfolio, if the AI trade works, I think
we got a lot of time left.
Yeah, we got a lot of time. So it's still anyone's game.
And then Captain Sleepy Time. He's got a bunch of winners.
Captain Sleepy Time definitely did not lean into the AI trade, which is kind of funny because he's a bigger AI bull than we are.
Yeah.
But his portfolio doesn't reflect it.
Well, because I don't think he could stomach taking AMD, and Amit took Nvidia. I took Broadcom.
We did take a lot of the stuff that he wanted.
Yeah.
Really just
took away his toys.
But he would be down. Maybe we shouldn't have done that. Maybe this is karma.
And I don't actually think he wanted QXO. I don't believe he wanted QXO.
I think he wanted to take it so that he could trade it from
you
for something else.
I made him a trade offer. He said no.
The thing is, you were an asshole though. You were like, you have to take my losses.
100%.
And I get your win. Like that's such a dick move.
Yes, it is. But if you want something bad enough, you make a concession.
I don't think he wanted it that bad.
Obviously he didn't.
Yeah. We'll see what
Obviously he
happens.
didn't.
I mean, he's
Yeah, we got a
some
lot of
good
time left. I'm excited to see where this finishes. Look, I was in last place for a good 7-8 months last year.
Yeah.
So I'm ready for this year.
We'll
Now, the
see what
real question
happens.
is, we got a rebalance in September.
Yeah.
This is going to sound crazy.
Oh, bro, I'm just gonna load up on SAS. I already know it. I don't care. It's gonna be SAS all the way for me. I'm already uncomfortable with the current like situation with.
I don't think I would get rid of any companies.
Really?
Unless somebody got rid of something that I really wanted.
I'll take CRM off your hands if you want to trade.
No,
for
I'm
something.
saying I wouldn't get rid of any companies. I have no interest in discarding anything.
I'm saying as a trade. Do you want anything that I have or no? I'm not taking your losses. Don't fucking even ask because it's not happening. I'll give you some losses, but I ain't fucking taking no losses.
Not at the moment, because I think Salesforce is going to go up.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't mind Iren at this level, but I just think I have a lot of
keeping
confidence in Benioff.
I'm keeping Iren.
I have a lot of confidence in Benioff, especially. Do you see what he retweeted today?
What did he tweet?
Scoundrel Benioff. This guy, I'm convinced he's a pirate.
Is he really? Ooh, get Marvell. Ooh, you on Marvell?
So he reposted this
True
whole
gold
thing.
isn't UI or model. They're both commodities. What breathes life into AI is the data and metadata that describes the data to the model, just like oxygen for us. The future's fortune lies in our data. Yes, data is the new gold.
And then the other day, he reposted what Chamath said about Alex Karp and initiating the important preference cascade around AI sovereignty. I'm telling you, I am not in this camp that AI is dead for SaaS. I think SaaS is going to be where it lives for a lot.
Of course it is. Of course it is. I think every one of the SaaS players who's pivoting to a consumption model with AI is going to do just fine. I feel like this is the same exact thing that happened in like, what was it, 2008-9 when cloud first started to come out. Everything migrated to the cloud. Same thing's going to happen. Everyone's going to have AI agentic features in their stuff. So like Salesforce is going to have Agentforce. Then you're going to have, what's it called? Adobe has Firefly. ServiceNow has Now Assist. Oracle's got all the Oracle shit. I don't know. What does Workday have? I haven't done enough research in Workday.
So Workday has an AI platform that they're rolling out when I left. So I'm not as familiar with it because we weren't utilizing it. But they were working on their own proprietary one.
Okay.
OGB, thank you very much. Really appreciate it. All right. Going to get going, everybody. Thank you for hanging out with us tonight.
We should do a special episode on bending spoons if you want to talk about it. I think if you have any more people who are bullish on it, I think it's a good idea to take a look.
Yeah, let me talk to Tanner. I mean, he would probably be bullish on it.
Because if you look out on this company 5, 10, 15 years from now, if they have that, how do I say it? That business model, and it's an effective business model, and they can scale it up, I think it could be big. So just FYI, it's a good idea to get in something like this that just IPO'd and could consolidate for maybe 6 months to a year. But then if they keep producing the numbers that they're producing, we could be at the ground level of something.
I'm certainly interested. I need to do some due diligence, but yes, I will. Michelle, Thank you very much. Really appreciate it. And maybe by next week, maybe I have my prediction market arbitrage system finished. We'll say. We will say.
Jeez,
We
man.
will say.
Prediction market arbitrage.
Well, I didn't show you that. I guess we'll end on this. I started a whole dark pool scanner. So I'm scanning all the 13Fs and everything, and I got an API for dark pool money. And I'm starting to aggregate where everything is going.
Why don't you reach out to the autopilot people and see if they'll allow you to create a AI like trading portfolio that basically does all of this, and then you can sell the memberships to it. So if people want to invest, they can.
Maybe
using your thing.
And then I got bored.
But you have to have you have to prove that you're actually making money.
That's not going to be hard. And then I got bored and I built a dividend growth calculator for the hell of it. I don't know, Chris. I get bored and I start building shit.
Just make sure it's accurate. That's all I'm going to say. Good. That's all that matters.
Scotty, thank you very much. Really appreciate it. Thank you. All right,
thank
everyone.
You, Scotty.
Go to sleep, drink some milk, have some cookies. See everyone later. Thank you very much.
Good luck to everyone in ServiceNow.